Welcome back to day 43 of the Dry Fire Journal. I'm going to get right to it right after I show you that I have nothing in the magazine well and that there is nothing in the chamber of my 365 XL. I'm going to keep it in frame all the way to my holster so that you know that I have a clear firearm. Here's the big idea for today. We're calling this caught red-handed, and I'm going to explain that in a moment. But why is it that so many people like to assume that their best possible circumstances are going to magically unfurl themselves right in front of their eyes on their worst possible day? Things like thinking, I'll have time to rack the slide, or I'll have time to do anything. So we want to think through some of our less than ideal moments. So I'm going to simulate that today. Caught red-handed, meaning I've only got one hand to draw and fire, and I'm carrying concealed. So I need to stop my support hand from working, and I'm going to simulate that by holding this book. And I'm going to need to, let me check where my chair is. I'm going to need to hold this with my support hand so that I can't use it for my draw stroke. And I'm going to need to use my dominant hand only to defeat my concealment, get on my gun, draw cleanly, and there's two big things I need to think about. First, can I get my cover garment entirely out of the way? And secondly, can I keep my finger off the trigger until I see exactly what I need to see? Because I'm already stressed out that I've got to draw my gun. I'm doubly stressed out that I only have one hand to do it. Why do I only have one hand to do it? Well, we can think up 1,000 scenarios. Why? But it's less than ideal and not what I have practiced the most. So I need to have this somewhere in my recent repertoire. And remember, a key thing behind these videos is the idea that your most valuable training is often your most recent one. So I'm going to block my support hand from being consequential in this draw stroke. And I need to defeat my cover garment, get on my gun, draw my firearm, not let my finger go to the trigger. I started to curl it. I've got to watch that. So I've got to try it again. I need to defeat my concealment, get on my gun, draw my firearm, not let my finger go to trigger until I see what I need to see, and then trigger without disrupting my sight picture. Now you'll notice that for me, I cant the gun over a little. That's because I am a right-handed shooter that is very dominant in my left eye. Also, I have found that for me, I can mitigate recoil a little bit better when the gun is just slightly canted. Now, that's just me, not you. Now that I've got the mechanics down, I need to do this again. You won't be able to see my complete draw stroke, but I want to be able to bring my gun up into a place where you can see my sight so I have accountability so that I don't get to move it as I go from index to trigger and press without moving. So, book back in hand. I've only got my strong hand. Here I go. I'm caught red-handed. I've only got one hand to do this work with, and I've got to defeat concealment, get on, oh boy, and press the trigger. A lot of movement there. Let's try it again. Block my support hand from being consequential. Defeat my cover, get that up. Oh, my finger went on trigger way too soon. I did not like that. This is why I need to do this with some frequency. Maybe you do too. I'm going to block my support hand with my book. Once again, my finger went on trigger before I wanted it to. Why is this important? Well, with a one-hand draw stroke, the likelihood of me taking a distance shot is low, but the need for me to be judicious and righteous in my accuracy is always at a premium. So I want to make sure I see what I need to see before my finger goes on trigger, and I'm going to try it again. I'm going to block my support hand with my friend Carl's book, and here we go. My finger went on trigger too soon. My sights were down here. My goodness. This is why you may find this a very helpful drill. Let's try it again. Book. That one felt a little bit better. There was movement as I pressed the trigger. But let's be honest, folks. How often do you practice this? How often do you really try this outside of a course where an instructor is asking you to do this? So here's my challenge to you. Take today, even just 5-10 minutes of working this through is going to help you should you need it. So get caught red-handed today. See what happens. See you tomorrow.